Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Bonnie Waslick, and I'm joined here with Dr. Sandra Vanderbilt from the George Washington University for yet another set of curricular bites. Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's great to see you.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get into it. So I just want to start out with the sort of open question of how do you define curriculum studies?
We can think about curriculum as what is planned. And I think that often when people hear that I do work in curriculum, they might assume that it's the thing that's planned, but curriculum is also lived. So I want to talk a little bit about that. In that sort of interdisciplinary nature of curriculum studies, how I think of it is rooted in something that we call the reconceptualist tradition. So I'm going to take us back to the 1970s, and there was a rejection of reducing curriculum down to the materials that we think about maybe in K-12 schools, like a set of objectives and the lesson plans and what we do and the materials we use, and then we evaluate whether or not students got it or learned. And so there was a rejection of that and an opening up to emphasizing the political and the subjective, again, the way that we come to know something through our lives and through the things that we encounter. And so oftentimes you might hear curriculum folks say things like curriculum as a complicated conversation, that the reconceptualist movement or the reconceptualist moment, people have debates over these things, was really opening up a complicated conversation about what is curriculum and what does it mean to study it. And so it's not separate from what we experience. The reconceptualists were looking at not only what is taught or how things are taught, but the experience of the person who is encountering whatever that might be that's teaching them. So that happens in schools, but it also happens in the rest of our lives too. So I think that curriculum studies is asking questions about all of.
So, could you touch on what are your scholarly contributions to this field?
I really value and feel that I've contributed to the narrative traditions within curriculum studies that value storytelling, that value listening attentively, so that we can then say something about this thing that we call curriculum, or what I was earlier describing as the things that shape our ideas, our beliefs, what we know, and how we come to know it. When I was a graduate student, and I know that this was, it'll be 11 years ago because I was pregnant with my son. I sat on a panel at Bergamo and offered a paper that was the first time that I used disability theorizing to write. And I used that informed by curriculum studies. And I ended up on a panel with two strangers who are now dear friends, and I've collaborated with Jamie Buffington-Adams and Kelly Vaughan. And we all just kind of looked at each other and we're like, you're writing about disability too? We're like using some heavy theorizing in some similar ways, in some different ways. And I think that one of my contributions to the field has been alongside Jamie and Kelly and others along the way, but centering disability conversations, but also demonstrating why a disabled epistemology is helpful to curricular study. And so I see that as an important contribution that I have had the honor of being a part of in curriculum studies.
Thank you. And so, for our last question today, I was hoping that you could speak a little bit about one of your hopes. So, if you could sort of identify one thing that you hope for the field, what would it be?
So I can give you two. And
I'll take two.
thank you. And so I think even at the beginning in talking about what is the field or how do I understand curriculum studies and thinking about it as established and emerging or a tradition and something that new things are happening, For the future of the field, there has been a lot of important and like significant, and I mean significant in terms of importance and volume, work on archiving and preserving this tradition that I'm talking about. And so I hope for the field that we continue that archive and preservation. Especially, there are some things that I feel like since I was a graduate student, we'll be like, oh, that's in a box somewhere. Like getting these things preserved is a hope that I have for the future and something that I hope to contribute to as well and or continue to contribute to. And then my second hope would be that curriculum studies is a field marked by hospitality, that we are a field that welcomes graduate students, welcomes scholars from non-traditional pathways, that we are a field that exists within and beyond the borders of institutions, welcoming people into serious thinking so that we can be a part of the world more aware, but also that we are marked by hospitality. So those would be my hopes for the future.
Wonderful. Well, as always, in the description of this video and then on my website, I'll have some of Dr. Vanderbilt's work, remembering that Curricular Bytes is the smallest unit of measurement. So while we have a smaller video here and the extended video, whichever way you're joining us today, please remember that's just one way to engage with Dr. Vanderbilt and her work, with the field more largely. And so I encourage you, as always, to do that. Get involved in any way that you choose. And we will see you next time. Thank you very much, Dr. Vanderbilt.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.